when I was in school, I was like the bank. This is when I started learning about interest, right? Because I started seeing like a lot of people, you know, didn't have money or needed loans or wanted to buy weed and stuff, and they wouldn't have money until their parents sent it that next Friday. You know what I mean? So I would literally loan people money or loan people product and be like, look, if I give you $50 today, I need $100 when you get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what taught me the interest concept, right? And then of course when people would come back to me, if they pay me on time, next time they came back to me, they might need a little more. Hey man, let me get 150 this time, no problem, because it's a person that's constantly coming back, right? So I start taking that same idea, and I was like, man, this is what the bank is doing. I just started looking at the relationships I was having with the banks. I was like, man, if I pay them back on time, or if I pay them back early, I start seeing my credit limits grow. I start seeing my offers for lower APRs come in. Like they start trusting you. And I start seeing this was the same relationship I had with people. If I lent somebody some money and they came back and paid me quicker than expected, next time they came and asked for money, oh, you can have it, because I know they coming right back. And I know I'm gonna make some money as well. And then it's building a relationship. You're literally helping somebody. People start to trust you, your name start to grow, and you just next thing you know, you're an asset to your community. I was in corporate America for about 11, 12 years. And what I would see is, everybody who was in corporate America somehow, some way wanted to start their own business, wanted to start their own company or something like that. The only reason they couldn't is because they ain't had the money or they ain't had the credit. If they got the credit, they don't need the money.
Got you.
Because they can go use somebody else's money. So I just wanted to show people how to be able to obtain funding, because it could literally change their life, change their dreams. Like I started saying, just when I would go into the barber shop, I would say, I would go up to barbers and be like, man, how long you been cutting? And they'd be like, man, 5, 10 years. And I'd be like, man, why ain't you open the shop yet?
Right.
And they'd be like, and I'd be like, is it the money? Is it the credit? If you had an extra 40,000, would you been able to open that shop? And they like, yeah, man, I would have opened that shop. And I'm like, look, you can get it off credit. I got that in my pocket right now on credit cards. I could swipe and open 10 of them, so let me just show you how to build your credit. And I just start saying that that's what was holding people back from being their own boss, or that was holding people back from firing their boss and leveling up, was the fact that they either didn't have the money and didn't have the credit. And a lot of times credit and money is synonymous. Most people who got money going to have good credit. Most people who got good credit are going to have some income, so I just start trying to figure out how to merge that gap to get people having their credit right, their finances right, so that we can grow, take advantage of opportunities. Last year, I was making about 80,000 a year. I was doing accounting. I was like a project cost engineer for a power company in the DMV area, right?
Okay.
And I actually got fired from my job, right? But luckily at the time, I was already doing financial literacy. I was with a multi-level marketing company that was doing credit. So I was just bringing people in, helping people get their credit fixed, or bringing people on, helping them be a part of my team so they could make money influencing people to get their credit fixed. Every person they referred, they would get paid, things like that, right? And like I said, I was making 80,000, and I thought that was pretty decent money until I really started making money in this credit space outside of work, right? And I just started seeing, I was like, man, 100,000 really ain't no money, right? And then I started seeing little ways that I could make money just off having good credit. You can literally make money off having good credit. So one of those ways I talk to you about, I know a lot of people hear about trade lines or authorized users, things like that. You can literally take one credit card and I can show a person how to make $36,000 a year off one credit card. If I got a credit card and I can add 10 authorized users, right? Typically, you're only going to have people on there for 2, maybe if you nice 3 months at a time. Because when people purchase these trade lines from you, they know they're going for funding. So they really only want to do it maybe 30 to 45 days before they're going to try to get approved for something.
Understood. So
Right.
there's a strategy to obtaining the funds that you're trying to get once you get the bump up.
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because it's going to report, like if I add a person today, it's going to report that credit card on their credit report within 30 days.
Right.
So they know within 30 days this score is going to go up, and now they got 2 months to obtain funding. That's enough time for them to go to
Run
different
a play.
places. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So if I charge a person $600 and I just have them on a card for 2 months, right? And then I'm gonna cycle them off and then add another person on, right? Let's just say I did 10 people at one time, right?
Mhm.
And I'm cycling them off every 2 months. I can make $36,000 in 1 year off of one credit card.
What would you say is a decent threshold to avoid, you know, yes, you're trying to make money,
Mhm.
but you don't want to get your credit shut
Exactly.
down. So what would you say is a modest, you know,
So basically, here's a way to avoid it. All you gotta do is call your credit card company and tell them, look, what I'm doing is I'm helping people get back acclimated to society, right?
mm,
I'm partnered with a nonprofit organization where I help people um, start to learn financial literacy, learn how to manage your credit card. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a person for a short period of time, maybe 60 to 90 days, just to help them build their credit, just to help them learn how to use this card. And you want to use the card sometime, but you want to pay it right off, just so it reports,
good
a
credit
low
score?
a low utilization to keep your score high, right?
Got you.
And you just ask them, hey, this is what I'm doing. Is this okay? And
Got
you
you.
want them to document it so they know they don't put it in the system. They got your voice recorded saying, oh yeah, that's fine, sir. That's something that's very good. We appreciate you doing something like that for the
Mm,
community. You call and check them like that. Now, certain banks still not going to rock with it.
right,
So I got
right.
a list of banks who you can rock with
Got you.
because I've
And we need the
had
cheat sheet, bro. We need
absolutely.
the cheat sheet.
Absolutely, I got you. Because I have gotten cards shut down because it's a couple banks that they'll allow you to do it for like a year. So you can, make money for a year off of it. And then after a year, they might close your cards. And they'll
Mm,
allow you to open those accounts again. But guess what? That age is gone because now you're starting all the way over.
if you tell me though, you gonna put me on my credit card, you gonna put me on your credit card for me to leverage. Do the credit card come to my house?
Nope, it come to my house.
I'm just checking. I'm
Exactly.
looking for risk here.
Yep.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it
I
comes to
wouldn't
my
want
house.
somebody else getting my credit card
Exactly.
running me up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So the way we do it and the way I teach people how to do it is the person, if I add you to the card,
Mhm.
you'll never get the card. You're never
Got
gonna
you.
see it.
Got you.
I'm gonna get the card.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna use the card.
Now, can they call, Amex, American
Nope.
Mastercard, whatever, and be like, "Yo,
Nope.
I lost my card. Can you
Nope.
send it over here? I
Nope.
send my ID, whatever."
Nope. Nope. And then what's gonna happen is,
You gonna
let's
get a
say you,
ding.
yeah, no. See, here's what's gonna happen when you call. Let's say I added you to my card, and you like, man, I know I'm on that account. Let me try to get a card. You call Amex or you call whatever bank it is, and you
Right,
say,
right,
hey, my name is such and such. I got an account with y'all.
right, right.
They gonna look it up and they gonna say, well, who is the primary account holder?
Got you.
What's his full name?
Got you.
What's his date of birth?
Got you.
What's his mother maiden name? They're gonna start asking so many attributes. What's the last four of his social? What's his address? You're gonna have to verify security questions and all that.
Okay.
They're not gonna let you do it because they're gonna see that you're just a authorized user and
Fair enough.
you're not the primary account holder. So
Got
they're
you.
gonna make sure that you're the primary account holder or all the primary account holders' information for you to even do anything.
You got the 3 credit cards. You can make 100,000. But how would one obtain that many people to leverage to get, with that play?
Where they
Like how
gonna find the people?
yeah,
Oh,
how
easy, easy. You go to the end user. So, or you go to the person who's going to meet the end user. So, of course, we can say, I can start going on social media. And sometimes I will go on social media and just make posts. Who want to raise their credit score with the authorized user? I got this card that's open. And then people would literally, I could go make a post right now and people going to hit me up.
mm,
And I can make $1,000 in one day just sitting at a lunch table. So I sell a trade line, I can make 36,000 a year
mhm,
off one credit card, right?
got you.
I can take that credit card and that money that I made 36,000 a year can pay for both of my Corvette car notes. So essentially I don't have a car note because I'm able to turn my credit card into cash to buy liabilities which essentially are assets because they making me money.
Right.
This is how you turn credit to cash. This is how you ain't got to work. Because if I do this multiple times with multiple cars, then you don't got to work. I got mentees who I teach how to do this, and I can show you text messages of them. They making $16,000 a month just renting cars out. I've helped 3 people quit their jobs just showing them these methods.
Got you.
And we compounding these strategies. So we taking the money that we making off the credit cards, and we not just going to take that and spending it and splurging it. We gonna put that into something else that's gonna make some money.
Got you.
Then when we get some money from that, we gonna put that into something else that's gonna make some money. Now we making money 3 times over, and each player is going into each other, so it's compounding. We got a compounding effect, and this is how you fire your boss. We ain't even gotten to everything else. We ain't even gotten to Airbnb. We ain't even gotten to affiliate marketing. You know, this is just turning your credit into cash.
You know, if I do got 2 late payments, 3 late payments, you know, I feel like I can't do it because I got a 620.
Yep, absolutely. So look, if a person is in the 600s, I already know a lot of times it's not the late payments, and a lot of times people look at late payments like that's what's killing them the most. But if you can, it's like shooting free throws, right? You got 2 late payments, right? That's like going to the free throw line and you don't miss your first 2. You 0 for 2, right? But what if you make the next 8? Now you 8 for 10. You 80%. So a lot of time when you got late payments, what you got to do to overcome for the late payments, now you still want to try to get the late payment remarks removed because we don't want to have no derogatory items. However, if a person got 2 late payments and then they got 100 on-time payments, you're not going to look at those 2 late payments the same.
Got you.
Because it's like missing 2 free throws, but you done made 100 straight. Who cares?
I love the analogy.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So what we got to do is the more late payments you got, or if you got late payments, we just got to put more on-time payments on your credit report. So that's why people who got thin credit profiles, it's harder for them to recover because they don't have enough things on their credit report saying they're paying every month. That's why I got so many credit cards, because people like, man, why would you have 20 credit cards? Like my grandparents were like, yo, don't ever get a credit card. But what it enables me to do is if I get 1 late payment, right? And I got 20 credit cards.
You still shoot 95%.
I'm still 95%. It ain't about what you need right now. What about when you ready to expand your business in 2 years? And what if you came into a crisis or a bind? See, I went into a real estate crisis. I bought a house out here in Atlanta. Had a cousin did a snaky deal with me. He was supposed to be my project manager. And I had got a hard money lender, so I had a high interest rate. And what happened was my cousin and the project manager was stealing the money. So the money that I was putting into the house to build it up, and mind you, I'm at home in D.C. I'm sending money down here for drywall and all this stuff. They not doing no work. They just taking the money and putting it in their pocket, right?
All right, so, you know what I mean? Where I'm from,
Yeah.
the plug usually keep big guns, my nigga. What kind of guns you had? I'm just saying.
Hey, look, and at the time, right, you know, when you losing money like that, you want to really do something.
Use your gun.
You want to do something, right? But at the time, I already knew, man, I had a vision in mind, and I was like, I don't want to put negative energy on this earth, right? I'm over here trying to build my community, try to have my name be like a wholesome image in my community, helping people. I can't be over here whacking people upside the head. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was, man, I found a way to turn I already knew how to turn credit into cash. So I was like, man, if I can stomach this loss and I can keep pushing forward, can't nothing stop me. I lost $180,000 in about 14 months. Bounced all the way back. You know what I mean?
Sick, though.
As soon as I sold the house, I ended up fixing it up, sold the house at a loss, but I wanted to complete the project. I didn't want to, you know, jeopardize my credit by just giving up. I knew my credit was powerful. I knew I could turn my credit into cash. So I refused to let that loss just deplete me, right? As soon as I sold the house on April 9th, that was the day I got fired from my job. Got fired from my job that I was at for maybe 6 years.
What's your mind state like right around this time?
Bro, going crazy. I'm like, man, how did I get out of a problem and then face another one? You know, it was like this Les Brown speech that he said, man, you either in a problem, just getting over one, or about to come into a new one all the time, right? It don't stop. And so what it taught me was just to keep grinding, right? Because I was losing money. Now I just sold the house, finally got that burden off my back. Same day I sold the house, my job calls me and was like, hey, you're fired. We see that you got a business outside of work. You're doing real estate. You're doing credit. We think you're doing this at work. We went on your computer. We saw you went on creditkarma.com. And I was like, what that mean?
You could be checking your personal.
I said, I'm checking I was like, I was on break.
Yeah.
They say, yeah, but we heard you a credit specialist. So that means you was at work doing work. So not only we going to fire you, but we going to deny your unemployment. So now I ain't getting unemployment, right?
Oh, wow.
But at the time, I was in a multi-level marketing company. I was doing credit. I was pushing financial literacy. I was doing trade lines and things like that, affiliate marketing as well. So I was making $20,000 a month outside of work. So I was good, right? And now I wasn't throwing money away in this investment while I was getting robbed. So I was like, man, I'm still good. $20,000, right? I joined the mentorship around September. And then I said, man, I'm going to take these principles I'm learning in this mentorship and the stuff I already know, and I'm going to create my own mentorship and start teaching people, right? So the company that I was doing the credit repair with didn't like it because they weren't going to get paid off this stuff. And they looked at it like I was competition, essentially, right? So they ended up terminating me in November. So now I'm like, man, I done got fired 2 times in 1 year, right? And that's why on these bands I put, your adversity is your gift.
Got you.
Adversity is your gift because at this time I'm going through all this adversity and I'm like you questioning, and I'm not a religious person, but I believe in the creator. I believe in somebody on this earth that's, dictating all this stuff. And I'm asking the man, like, why would you do this to me? Why is this happening to me? But it would just make me mash on the gas. Every time adversity happened, I was like, look, I can't fail. I like being clean. I like being fresh. I like having money. I like having stuff. And I like helping other people. So there's no way that I'm going to let myself fail. So I just use all my adversity to not only fuel me, but to teach people different things. This is why people don't need to be working these jobs, or this is why even if you work a job, you still got to be working to create some type of dream or something, because most of these employers are at will. So yes, they gave me a reason and said, we're firing you because of XYZ, we think you violated. But in all actuality, they could have just came to me and said, you know what, we're firing you because we just don't want you. Or we're downsizing. Or we're going to just give your work to somebody else and make them do double work. Hey, that's our prerogative. They're at will employer. They have the right to do that. So that's why people can't rely on these jobs. Gotcha. That's why people got to have other ways to be able to make money. And if people can learn how to make $100,000 a year just off leveraging their credit, they won't be on eggshells at work.
Gotcha.
It used to be so many times I used to be at work, and then my boss would come to my desk and be like, I need to see you in my office. And I'd be like, damn, is this the day? I'm about to get fired. And you walk in there on eggshells, and then they're like, oh, just have a seat. No, I didn't. You're like, woo!
Right.
Halfway gave yourself a heart attack because you really need this job to feed your family, right? And everybody does, but you never know when that moment can be where you can lose it. I done got fired from 10 jobs. So it was always instilled in me never to settle for a job.
We gonna name the podcast now. Are you employable? Because nobody on that seat is ever employable. You're not employable, bro.
Unemployable. And that's what credit gave me, right? Because you got to think, if I'm making $20,000 a month and then my job is paying me $4,000 a month, when I go into work, I got a different swag. I'm in there like I'm the boss. You know what I'm saying? So my coworkers start feeling that. And they was like, yo, why you ain't never tripping in here when they change some rules on us? Nothing affects you. What is it? What do you do outside of work? What's going on? They want to know because they can feel that energy.
Right.
So my bosses, my supervisors start feeling that energy because now I'm going in the meeting saying, yo, this is wrong. Right. This ain't right.
Because you got
y'all need to change this. Exactly. Because and at the time, I'm feeling like I'm unemployed, but I don't need a job.
Got you.
I'm looking at my boss like, I know I make more than you.
Got you.
I know I'm smarter than you. I know I can fire you at any time.
Got
I don't got to work here. When I was with this network marketing company, before they fired me, I had 700 people under me who were either teaching financial literacy or that were fixing their credit. So once I got to 500 people, they gave me $600 a month towards a brand new Benz. So I had to go buy a Benz. I had to qualify for it, get it in my name, and then they would just give me $600 a month towards it. Mm-hmm. So I bought a 2021 GLE. I got it at home in Maryland. So when I went in and bought the car, the finance manager was like, man, we got to run your credit and blah, blah. I was like, cool. I'm going to be sitting in my car. You know, at the time I had like a 2010 Nissan Maxima. So I was like, I'm going to be sitting in my car. I'll wait for you in my car. You know, he walked out. He was like, sir, can you step out the car? And I was like, I mean, just let me know if I got it or not. I'm about to pull off, you know. I'm good. All right. You know, he was like, just step out the car. So I got out the car. He was like, you know, your credit is good and everything, but you're buying a $105,000 car. Like, your highest car note you've ever bought is $35,000. So we got to question this. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, what do you do? What's going on? And I was like, well, look, you know, I never thought I was going to buy a car for this much money either, but here's what's been happening. I do financial literacy, blah, blah. The company's giving me $600 a month. Mm-hmm. So I'm really only going to pay like $1,100 a month for this. And I can do this easily because this is what I'm making. They never asked to see my pay stubs or anything, but they just had to ask the question. Right. Most dealerships probably wouldn't ask the question, but Mercedes Financial, they're a little different. So, you know, they had to question it, right? So then he took me in his office, and we had a lot in common. He knew some of the people who was in the company that I was working with, right? So from there, I was like, man, what if I'm able to bring people to you who buying cars? Because at the time, I was teaching a mentorship. I was in a space, and I was meeting all these people who were doing tour road, things like that. So I was like, look, I got a large network of people who will probably buy cars from you if I send them your way. What can you give me? Because I'm going to help you sell cars. And he was like, man, we can give you $250 a car. And I was like, man, that ain't nothing, but it ain't about the money all the time. It's about the relationship. Facts. Sometimes people want to see if you really going to provide this value, if you really going to have this impact, and then we can negotiate later. Mm-hmm. So I took that and ran with it. So I start, you know, I got a Mercedes. I start posting videos of me driving it online, videos of the car driving itself, you know, little features on the car, just promoting the car, right? So now people like, man, I want to get a Benz. How do you do this? And I'm like, man, you can turn your credit to cash. I can show you how to do X, Y, Z. So now I'm selling cars. Every person I send to Mercedes, I'm getting $250, right? So now it's starting to pay for my car note. I'm making like $750 to like $1,000 a month, right? Mm-hmm. Mind you, the company was still paying for the car, so now the car is completely free because they give me $600 a month. Then I'm making about $1,000 just referring. So I'm like, man, I can really do this, right? So what happened was, I started putting more people onto the Benz plug just to show them, look, I got a way you can make money. Just refer people who want to buy a Benz. Go make a post. Put, hey, who wants to buy a Benz with no doc loans? Blah blah. Go put it on your page, see if anybody jump at it, right? Now they start selling cars, right? So now I go back to Mercedes like, look, y'all see what I'm doing. How many cars am I selling a month? How many people have I brought on to y'all? All right, now we need to restructure this deal. I need more money. Right. They're like, all right, we're going to give you $400 now. We're going to give you $400 a car. Now, if I sell 3 cars, that's $1,200 in a month. You know, and then what that enabled me to do was now every time I go buy a car, if I go buy a Chevy, if I go buy a Nissan, whatever I go buy, when I'm there, I'm showing them the checks from Mercedes saying, look, y'all better give me a good deal because I'm an influencer. That's one of the hardest things, you know, for entrepreneurs. You got to understand is one you're gonna cut off or cut short some conversations and relationships that you once partake in. You know, like a lot of my friends, we used to talk about video games. We used to talk about basketball. We used to talk about reality TV. I don't got time for that no more. That don't mean nothing to me, right?
But we've been kicking it the whole weekend. I'd be like, man, you watching this?
I don't even know who's playing. I don't know who plays for that team.
Because you focusing on your work.
Exactly.
You're not watching somebody else's work.
Exactly. So one of the things you're going to realize, you're going to cut conversations, you're going to cut relationships short sometimes, right? And then you got to find a way to get a seat at a table. So what I did was I joined the mentorship. I paid $5,000 for a recession-proof mentorship, right? And the information is powerful, and this is what people don't understand. Is like when people join mentorships, they thinking that this is going to be some life-changing magic, right? But it's not. The information is going to be cool, but the information ain't even the best part. The best part is the other people who paid that money to get a seat at that table, because those are the like-minded individuals, right? So those are going to be people who you're going to be able to interact with, who you're going to be able to add value to, and then they're going to be able to throw it back and add value to you. Because everybody got some niche in something that, somebody else don't know nothing about.
Kind of like me and you.
Exactly. If I'm able to add value to you and show you, hey, this is how I'm making money, this is how I'm successful, and then you actually do it and it works,
I got to reciprocate it.
You're going to be like, yo, you said something about a podcast, right? Well, look, you just need that. I just wanted to show you some love because you did. Yeah. And that way I can build relationships with everybody. So then I start looking for those weaknesses in people like, man, if I could show him this, that's going to take him to another level. And then if he go to another level, maybe he'll remember what I did for him. And even if you don't, because sometimes people don't. Sometimes people don't reciprocate it. But guess what? I got that energy in the universe. I'm putting it out there that I'm helping people, and I'm not just doing it for the money.